Well, a very good afternoon to each and every person out there. Welcome to another edition of what? You got it right, the Smooth Worship Show. Just realized I didn't press a button on something, never mind. So that's right, we are getting ready for an absolutely fantastic laid-back time in the smoothest, and I can tell you the absolute best in what gospel's got to offer. Good afternoon, one and all. My name is DJ Val. I've got to give props going out there to my Bishop John Anthony Francis, and of course my co-pastor Penny Francis. I am here to tell you we are going to get ready for a real great time today. Do remember, if you haven't, if you're new to the show, you've got to type in young in the comments, or new actually, tell a lie. If you're old, you've got to type in young. But you know what, most important today, right, I just want us all to chill, sit back and really relax and listen to this really great gospel music, if I don't mind saying so myself.
When you're on your way to church, you can listen to a sound. Ooh, 'cause I know that it works. Ooh, we are soul.
Hi, this is Wendy Walker, and you are listening to the Soul Food Show with DJ Val.
Yo, blessings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. This is your boy Diligence from Tampa, Florida. You are now listening to the Soul Food Gospel Show with my brother DJ Val. Salute.
Hi, it's your man, superstar, contemporary, Holy Ghost-filled gospel artist, Mr. T. Briggs, and you're listening to the Soulful Gospel Show with DJ Val, the best gospel show in the United Kingdom. Check it out.
Hey everyone, it's Keandra Lockett here, and you are listening to the Soul Food Gospel Show with DJ Val.
This is Lorraine Clark McGee, and you're listening to DJ Val on the Soul Food Show.
Wherever I am in the world, j'écoute le Soul Food Show avec DJ Val. C'est sur Roac Radio. Ce show est fantastique, est incroyable. Un show à ne pas manquer, les amis. Allez, à bientôt. Ciao.
DJ Val, playing the finest and the best in what gospel has to offer you. I'm gonna say it again. DJ Val, playing the finest and the best in what gospel has to offer you.
DJ Val, playing the very best in gospel's finest and rarest grooves this side of the Mississippi.
DJ Val, playing music for your mind, body, and soul.
Excuse me, is this thing on? Yeah, I know Satan couldn't shut us up. Hey, Cassandra, you ready, big sis? Let's tell him how incredible he is. Let's tell him how great he is. By the way, I got something to say on this track. Let's go, kid.
It's incredible, the price that you paid, sacrifices that you made, all for my soul to save. All I can say,
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ.
All I can say,
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ.
Incredible, it's the king who could walk over H2O. Took death's doors and then he left them closed. That same power eventually let him rose. Many are called, but see only few are chose. I suppose it's the reason he blessed my flow. I decided to answer the spiritual evo and use my gifts to reach spiritual Nemos. Satan can't touch this spiritual ego. Devil, you are under my ALDOs. Guess I want it all back, spiritual repos. This is my reality, I guess you can Devo. I Debo, any devil who is Nico. And my Dezo, strong enough to conquer evil. Sin is a foul, but Christ gave me a free throw. And now I'm drawing closer, feeling like Neo. Young,
absolutely love this one, you know. Sounds of Miss Cassandra O'Neill on the Smooth Worship Show. Been aching to play this one, you know. There was a few technical problems with it. I changed some stuff over on my laptop and it just would refuse to play. Unperturbed. I just re-downloaded it again. How about that, eh? Shouts going out to Lady L. Shouts going out to Avril. And it calls the class captain. Gotta say hi, going out to all the people on YouTube behind the privacy glass. I see you, you know. Shouts going out there to Angie RCBI, my bestie little KK. Let's do some Lecrae. Cause God, all I need is you.
Keep me in my time zone when my mind's gone and I'm flying home and I'm stressed out and I'm tempted to get that styrofoam and go pull it up, but you know what's up and you know that ain't gon' solve nothing. I mean, Lord forbid I might fall or something and I'm all another cause all I need is you to hold me down like bed straps at a psych ward. It's killing me, but you still with me when I fight hard and you digging me when I'm egging you. Deal with me when my car's pulled. Could've dealt with me, but you fell for me before I fell for you. Keep me on that right path and the right math is you plus nothing's everything. You my everything, same. You ain't gotta question my allegiance, cause the way you love me, I could never leave you. I need you.
By my side, thick and thin, highs and lows, don't let go. We gon' ride, we gon' win, don't know how, all I know. You, all I ever needed. You, all I ever needed. You, all I ever needed. You, all I ever needed.
How did I fall in this? No condition to get a mention, but you offer this. Unconditional love, I swear I sell it all for this. Trying to keep it together, forget my awkwardness. But often it's just you and me off in this. Valley of shadows, and I know they trying to pick me off in this, but all I need is you. It's funny just how off I get when I ain't riding with you. No adjectives for your awesomeness. They burning one for that burnout. This life done got them all turned out. Took time out to put time in, so I turn to you when I want out. Need is you. You slow me down cause you know me now. With my phony smiling, I'm acting like it's all copacetic. It's so pathetic, so juvenile. Know what you do? You keep me cool in the summer when they be dressing less and I be wanting to show off and stunt. But there ain't nothing to want. You give me all that I need. All I need is you to keep that fire burning for me. All I need is you.
By my side, thick and thin, highs and lows, don't let go. We gon' ride, we gon' win, don't know how.
Hold tight, Miss Louisa. You know I am a public service, right? My job is here to serve the public. Shouts going out there to little Mr. Joshua.
Ain't nobody gon' get in the way. Put that on my money in the bank.
We can still celebrate your birthday today, young man, as well. Happy birthday from Uncle DJ Val.
We gon' ride to the
Shouts going out to Cisenamite. He is the hardest known substance known to man.
hold my hand, we can have it all.
Sounds of Lecrae, all I need is you.
By my side, thick and thin, highs and lows, don't let go. We gon' ride, we gon' win, don't know how, all I know. You, all I ever needed. You, all I ever needed. All I ever needed. All I ever needed. You, all I ever needed.
It's the soul
You always fill me up when I'm feeling down. You always make it better for me somehow. All I need is you.
I am telling you, we are warming up, you know. We're going to have a super duper califragilistic expialidocious show today, man. I came prepared. In case you stumbled across the dials, this is indeed the Smooth Worship Show alongside your boy DJ Val, and we are taking you way, 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 way back.
Keep me in my time zone when my mind's gone and I'm flying home and I'm stressed out and I'm tempted to get that styrofoam and go pull it up, but you know what's up and you know that ain't gon' solve nothing. I mean, Lord forbid I might fall or something and I'm all another cause all I need is you to hold me down like
Looks like somebody requested a rewind somewhere. I don't know how that happened.
me when I
Let's leave it. I like it anyway.
you digging me when I'm egging you. Deal with me when my car's pulled. Could've dealt with me, but you fell for me before I fell for you. Keep me on that right path and the right math. Is you plus nothing's everything. You my everything. You ain't got a question.
You sure you didn't trigger the rewind?
I need you.
By my side.
I think it must have been Avro, man.
Highs and lows, don't let go. We gon' ride, we gon' win. Don't know how, all I know.
Listen, I was going out to my bishop, Bishop John Anthony Francis. I was watching him today on the service, man. Him and co-pastor Penny are just hilarious, you know.
How did I fall in this? No condition that get a mention, but you offered.
Talk about impromptu comedy, man.
Swear I sell it all for this. Trying to keep it together, forget my awkwardness. But often it's just you and me off in this valley of shadows, and I know they trying to pick me off in this, but all I need is you. It's funny, just
sounds of the boy called Lecrae.
And with you, no adjectives for your.
Actually, shouts going out to DJ Susie Q. I know she likes a little bit of Lecrae.
I turned out, took time out to put time in, so I turn to you when I want out. Need is you. You slow me down, cause you know me now. With my phony smile and I'm acting like it's all copacetic. It's so pathetic, so juvenile. Know what you do? You keep me cool in the summer when they be dressing less and I be wanting to show off and stunt. There ain't nothing to want. You give me all that I need.
Avril said I was in the spirit, right?
Keep that fire burning for me. All I need is you.
That's gonna be the first rewind ever done on the Smooth Worship Show.
Don't let go. We gon' ride, we gon' win. Don't know how, all I know. You, all I ever needed. You're all I ever needed. You, all I ever needed. You're all I ever needed.
Ain't nobody gon' get in the way. Put that on my money in the bank. Cause you do what the mothers can't. And I love that, yeah. We gon' ride till the wheels fall off. Above it all, we can never fall, yeah. Hold my hand, we can have it all. Hold my hand, we can have it all.
By my side, thick and thin, highs and lows, don't let go. We gon' ride, we gon' win, don't know how, all I know. You, all I ever needed. You're all I ever needed.
All I ever needed.
All I ever needed.
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ.
You always fill me up when I'm feeling it. Always make it back.
Shouts going to Angie RCBI.
All I need is you.
I think you like some Lecrae as well, right? Okay, this time we will go way back in time.
Life can be so hard sometimes.
DJ Val,
And our problems,
your mind,
they seem to be more than we can bear.
DJ
Yeah,
Val,
Mike,
playing the very
I know
best
someone
in gospel's
who's
finest.
a problem solver, and he can bear all of our problems. But if we just believe on him and know that everything will be all right.
It's gonna be alright. I know it will. It's gonna be alright.
Oh, I like this one. It's gonna be alright. Sounds of the Clark sisters.
It's gonna be alright. So you're feeling blue. What you gonna do? You've been hurt before. Kinda like ding.
And do remember, if you join the show, you gotta
Stone about.
you gotta share, you gotta like, you gotta comment, you gotta do all that great stuff.
It's within. Right down to the end. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I better set the Bible reading, you know. There's me all getting excited.
It's so good to know that I've been
remember I heard somebody else playing this and I thought, I like this one. If I play it on this show, everybody will think that I discovered it, right? Old time Mr. Alice DeVee. Let me just say this, I don't own the rights to the music that I play, right? Which therefore means anybody can play it. Shouts going out to anybody who likes my playlists and incorporates them on their show too. You know what? I do exactly the same thing, you know. I think that's the brilliant thing about gospel music, right? There is so much out there, right, that, you know, you just can't be... It's not like you're just looking for current hits, you know. Everybody goes, oh, this is a current hit. And, you know, like the usual groups. There's just so much music out there, man. Shouts go down to Brother Charles. Caught a little bit of his Friday morning show. You probably thought DJ Val, you're up early. I sure was, man. It's sure gonna be all right. I'm not too sure what storms you're going through, but the Clark sisters say it's gonna be all right. So remember, the Smooth Worship Show is where I go back in time. I pull out some real goodies. Just go down to my brother, Mr. Jesse Johnson, aka Diligence. The hunt for Red October still continues, my brother. I am still looking. And I tell you what, when I was doing my pre-show prep, I came across this little dynamite gem, right, from LaRue Howard.
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ Val.
Shouts going out to Lady Erica Johnson as well. Those guys are out there in Tampa, Florida, man. We take it real easy on the Smooth Worship Show. Ain't no rush, ain't no fuss, man. I think the old maxim is God is in control. And fortunately, I did all the tweeting of the songs before I came on today. I found a new way to do things. So do remember to share, like, comment, subscribe if you get the opportunity and the chance, right? think even Miss LaRue would be happy that I found this one, man. Taken from way, way, way back. This one's called Fortress. Q-Time Chords tells me it's 11 minutes before the bottom of the hour, which means we got our Bible reading coming up in a couple of tracks' time. We've got news announcements at the top of the hour. Record of the week, poetically speaking. I think we might skip through the announcements. We'll see how we're doing for time today. Got some great music I want to share with you, so full steam ahead. We don't dilly-dally on this show, you know. Our course is true, and it is straight.
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ Val.
Gotta say, that one is, I'm so glad that one's made its way into the smooth worship regular rotation. Let's do this one by Michelle. This one's called Make Me.
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ Val.
Your Shazam should be at the ready, folks. Hold tight, Chris from the Double G's. I love what he says on his show. Shazam will be your best friend.
Outside, it's supernatural. Oh, look at me now. Ain't no doubt about it. I am good work in the making. Make me more like you. Ain't no doubt about it. I am good work in the making. Make me more like you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. More like you. Oh, oh, oh. Your love taught me how to be, shaping me in and out. Inside and out. I hope you were proud of me.
And of course, got to say hi going out to Demi, Dial, Sungopi, Harry, all the usual boys out there in Lekki, Nigeria. Hold tight, Auntie Talama, Auntie Oseh. Hold tight, my brother Ben from the Buckles Boutique.
More like you. Ain't no doubt about it.
Shouts going out to Spiky John.
In the
And of course, OJ Simpson.
Doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it. Won't you make me? Won't you make me? Make me more like you. Make me more like you. Yeah. Good work.
And of course, if you've got a birthday shout on dedication that you'd like to share,
Nice image, but my image is flawed.
I'll holler at anybody, you know.
More than wishing on a star. I fall short and confess. Get upset cause I forget.
We are an equal opportunities employer. I don't mind who it is. I will give them a shout out.
Look at what you've done. I'm amazed by your love. I've been changed by your love. This is how we overcome. Sons and daughters of the king. We are good work in the
Yeah. You're probably saying, yeah, of course. No, not all radio stations do that, you know.
I am good work in the making.
Some of them do it in controlled bursts. I am very spontaneous.
Ain't no doubt about it. I am good work in the making. Make me more like you. Ain't no doubt about it. I am good work in the making. Make me more like you.
Michelle Paulinho. Love that one. It's called Make Me. Gonna do one up by Dietrich Haddon, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, we will then go straight into our Bible reading. If I'm not wrong, I think everything is looking good. Let's do this one.
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ Val.
My marriage, my kids, they're close to my heart. Everything, my past, the pain, my scars, everything, yeah. My dreams, my career, I'm giving you, Lord, everything.
You righty, my boy Diligence. Everything's gotta go, right?
Everything, yeah. My church, the hurt, it's all yours.
Everything. I double dare you to type everything in the comments. Just before you go into the Bible reading, it's all gotta go, man.
My issues with my ex, we did our best. Everything, my weakness, frustrations, Lord, I confess. Now repeat after me.
To stop holding on to things, you know. Time to let go. I should play that song in it. You gotta let it go. Shouts going to Miss Louise, and she said, DJ Val, you were singing all right the other day. The anointing must have dropped, you know. It was that Charles Dada song, wasn't it? Lord of all.
My tears and all of my years, give it to Jesus and let it go.
Yeah, it was that one.
I'm giving you everything.
Actually, I think I made that track my smooth worship, actually. Those of you who are on my WhatsApp notifications, yeah, that one was on the smooth worship for today. Lord of all. Sounds of Mr. D. Hattie. Let's move into our Bible reading because time waits for no man. And of course, we do our dramatized Bible reading taken from the Bible experience. May you be blessed as you reflect, digest
the Bible experience,
and think about God's mighty and miraculous word today.
Before the days of trouble come and the years approach, when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars grow dark and the clouds return after the rain, when the keepers of the house tremble and the strong men stoop, when the grinders cease because they are few, and those looking through the windows grow dim, when the doors to the street are closed and the sound of grinding fades, when people rise up at the sound of birds, but all their songs grow faint, when people are afraid of heights and of dangers in the streets, when the almond tree blossoms and the grasshopper drags itself along and desire no longer is stirred, then people go to their eternal home and mourners go about the streets. Remember him before the silver cord is severed and the golden bowl is broken, before the pitcher is shattered at the spring and the wheel broken at the well, and the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Everything is meaningless. Not only was the teacher wise, but also he imparted knowledge to the people. He pondered and searched out and set in order many proverbs. The teacher searched to find just the right words, and what he wrote was upright and true. The words of the wise are like goads, their collected sayings like firmly embedded nails given by one shepherd. Be warned, my son, of anything in addition to them. Of making many books there is no end, and much study wearies the body.
Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of every human being. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil.
The Book of Isaiah. The vision concerning Judah and Jerusalem that Isaiah, son of Amos, saw during the reigns of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah.
Hear me, you heavens. Listen, earth, for the Lord has spoken.
I reared children and brought them up, but they have rebelled against me. The ox knows its master, the donkey its owner's manger, but Israel does not know. My people do not understand.
Sinful nation, a people whose guilt is great, a brood of evildoers, children given to corruption. They have forsaken the Lord. They have spurned the Holy One of Israel and turned their backs on him. Why should you be beaten anymore? Why do you persist in rebellion? Your whole head is injured, your whole heart afflicted. From the sole of your foot to the top of your head, there is no soundness. Only wounds and welts and open sores, not cleansed or bandaged or soothed with olive oil. Your country is desolate. Your cities burned with fire. Your fields are being stripped by foreigners right before you, laid waste as when overthrown by strangers. Daughter Zion is left like a shelter in a vineyard, like a hut in a field of melons, like a city under siege. Unless the Lord Almighty had left us some survivors, we would have become like Sodom. We would have been like Gomorrah. Hear the word of the Lord, you rulers of Sodom. Listen to the instruction of our God, you people of Gomorrah.
The multitude of your sacrifices, what are they to me?
Says the Lord.
I have more than enough of burnt offerings, of rams and the fat of fattened animals. I have no pleasure in the blood of bulls and lambs and goats. When you come to appear before me, who has asked this of you, this trampling of my courts? Stop bringing meaningless offerings. Your incense is detestable to me. New moons, Sabbaths, and convocations. I cannot bear your evil assemblies. Your new moon feasts and your appointed festivals, I hate with all my being. They have become a burden to me. I am weary of bearing them. When you spread out your hands in prayer, I will hide my eyes from you. Even if you offer many prayers, I will not listen. Your hands are full of blood. Wash and make yourselves clean. Take your evil deeds out of my sight. Stop doing wrong. Learn to do right. Seek justice. Encourage the oppressed. Defend the cause of the fatherless. Plead the case of the widow. Come now, let us reason together, says the Lord. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red as crimson, they shall be like wool. If you are willing and obedient, you will eat the best from the land. But if you resist and rebel, you will be devoured by the sword.
For the mouth of the Lord has spoken. See how the faithful city has become a prostitute. She once was full of justice. Righteousness used to dwell in her, but now murderers. Your silver has become dross. Your choice wine is diluted with water. Your rulers are rebels, companions of thieves. They all love bribes and chase after gifts. They do not defend the cause of the fatherless. The widow's case does not come before them. Therefore the Lord Almighty, the Mighty One of Israel declares,
I will vent my wrath on my foes and avenge myself on my enemies. I will turn my hand against you. I will thoroughly purge away your dross and remove all your impurities. I will restore your judges as in days of old, your rulers as at the beginning. Afterward, you will be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city.
Zion will be delivered with justice, her penitent ones with righteousness. But rebels and sinners will both be broken, and those who forsake the Lord will perish.
You will be ashamed because of the sacred oaks in which you have delighted. You will be disgraced because of the gardens that you have chosen. You will be like an oak with fading leaves, like a garden without water. The mighty man will become tinder and his work a spark. Both will burn together with no
son
one
of
to
Amos
wait
saw
for.
concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's temple will be established as the highest of the mountains. It will be exalted above the hills, and all nations will stream to it. Many peoples will come and say,
Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways so that we may walk in his paths.
The law will go out from Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. Come, house of Jacob, let us walk in the light of the Lord. You have abandoned your people, the house of Jacob. They are full of superstitions from the east. They practice divination like the Philistines and clasp hands with pagans. Their land is full of silver and gold. There is no end to their treasures. Their land is full of horses. There is no end to their chariots. Their land is full of idols. They bow down to the work of their hands, to what their fingers have made. So people will be brought low and everyone humbled. Do not forgive them. Go into the rocks. Hide in the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty. The eyes of the arrogant will be humbled and human pride brought low. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day. The Lord Almighty has a day in store for all the proud and lofty, for all that is exalted, and they will be humbled. For all the cedars of Lebanon, tall and lofty, and all the oaks of Bashan, for all the towering mountains and all the high hills, for every lofty tower and every fortified wall, for every trading ship and every stately vessel. The arrogance of all people will be brought low, and human pride humbled. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day, and the idols will totally disappear. People will flee to caves in the rocks and to holes in the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty when he rises to shake the earth. In that day, people will throw away to the moles and bats their idols of silver and idols of gold which they made to worship. They will flee to caverns in the rocks and to the overhanging crags from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty when he rises to shake the earth. Stop trusting in human beings who have but a breath in their nostrils. See now, the Lord Almighty is about to take from Jerusalem and Judah both supply and support, all supplies of food and all supplies of water. The hero and the warrior, the judge and the prophet, the diviner and the elder, the captain of 50 and the person of rank, the counselor, skilled worker, and clever enchanter. I will make mere youths their officials. Children will govern them. People will oppress each other, one against another, neighbor against neighbor. The young will rise up against the old, the nobody against the honored. A man will seize one of his brothers in his father's house and say,
"You have a cloak. You be our leader. Take charge of this heap of ruins."
But in that day, he will cry out,
"I have no remedy. I have no food or clothing in my house. Do not make me the leader of the people."
Jerusalem staggers. Judah is falling. Their words and deeds are against the Lord, defying his glorious presence. The look on their faces testifies against them. They parade their sin like Sodom. They do not hide it. Woe to them. They have brought disaster upon themselves. Tell the righteous it will be well with them, for they will enjoy the fruit of their deeds. Woe to the wicked. Disaster is upon them. They will be paid back for what their hands have done.
Youths oppress my people. Women rule over them. My people, your guides lead you astray. They turn you from the path.
The Lord takes his place in court. He rises to judge the people. The Lord enters into judgment against the elders and leaders of his people.
It is you who have ruined my vineyard. The plunder from the poor is in your houses. What do you mean by crushing my people and grinding the faces of the poor?
Declares the Lord Almighty. The Lord says,
"The women of Zion are haughty, walking along with outstretched necks, flirting with their eyes, tripping along with mincing steps, with ornaments jingling on their ankles. Therefore, the Lord will bring sores on the heads of the women of Zion. The Lord will make their scalps bald.
In that day, the Lord will snatch away their finery, the bangles and headbands and crescent necklaces, the earrings and bracelets and veils, the headdresses and ankle chains and sashes, the perfume bottles and charms, the signet rings and nose rings, the fine robes and the capes and cloaks, the purses and mirrors, and the linen garments and tiaras and shawls. Instead of fragrance, there will be a stench. Instead of a sash, a rope. Instead of well-dressed hair, baldness. Instead of fine clothing, sackcloth. Instead of beauty, branding. Your men will fall by the sword, your warriors in battle. The gates of Zion will lament and mourn, destitute. She will sit on the ground. 7 women will take hold of one man and say,
We will eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace.
In that day, the branch of the Lord will be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the land will be the pride and glory of the survivors in Israel. Those who are left in Zion, who remain in Jerusalem, will be called holy. All who are recorded among the living in Jerusalem. The Lord will wash away the filth of the women of Zion. He will cleanse the bloodstains from Jerusalem by a spirit of judgment and a spirit of fire. Then the Lord will create over all of Mount Zion and over those who assemble there a cloud of smoke by day and a glow of flaming fire by night. Over everything the glory will be a canopy. It will be a shelter and shade from the heat of the day, and a refuge and hiding place from the storm.
Will sing for the one I love, a song about his vineyard. My loved one had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. He dug it up and cleared it of stones and planted it with the choicest vines. He built a watchtower in it and cut out a wine press as well. Then he looked for a crop of good grapes, but it yielded only bad fruit.
Now you dwellers in Jerusalem and people of Judah, judge between me and my vineyard. What more could have been done for my vineyard than I have done for it? When I looked for good grapes, why did it yield only bad? Now I will tell you what I am going to do to my vineyard. I will take away its hedge, and it will be destroyed. I will break down its wall, and it will be trampled. I will make it a wasteland, neither pruned nor cultivated, and briars and thorns will grow there. I will command the clouds not to rain on it.
The vineyard of the Lord Almighty is the house of Israel, and the people of Judah are the vines he delighted in. And he looked for justice, but saw bloodshed, for righteousness, but heard cries of distress. Woe to you who add house to house and join field to field till no space is left and you live alone in the land. The Lord Almighty has declared in my hearing,
Surely the great houses will become desolate, the fine mansions left without occupants. A 10-acre vineyard will produce only a bath of wine, a homer of seed, only an ephah of grain.
Woe to those who rise early in the morning to run after their drinks, who stay up late at night till they are inflamed with wine. They have harps and lyres at their banquets, pipes and timbrels and wine, but they have no regard for the deeds of the Lord, no respect for the work of his hands. Therefore, my people will go into exile for lack of understanding. Those of high rank will die of hunger, and the common people will be parched with thirst. Therefore, the grave enlarges its appetite and opens wide its mouth. Into it will descend their nobles and masses with all their brawlers and revelers. So people will be brought low and everyone humbled. The eyes of the arrogant humbled. But the Lord Almighty will be exalted by his justice, and the holy God will be proved holy by his righteous acts. Then sheep will graze as in their own pasture. Lambs will feed among the ruins of the rich. Woe to those who draw sin along with cords of deceit, and wickedness as with cart ropes to those who say,
Let God hurry. Let him hasten his work so we may see it. The plan of the Holy One of Israel? Let it approach. Let it come into view so we may know it.
Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. Woe to those who are heroes at drinking wine and champions at mixing drinks, who acquit the guilty for a bribe but deny justice to the innocent. Therefore, as tongues of fire lick up straw, and as dry grass sinks down in the flames, so their roots will decay, and their flowers blow away like dust, for they have rejected the law of the Lord Almighty, and spurned the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore, the Lord's anger burns against his people. His hand is raised, and he strikes them down. The mountains shake, and the dead bodies are like refuse in the streets. Yet for all this, his anger is not turned away. His hand is still upraised. He lifts up a banner for the distant nations. He whistles for those at the ends of the earth. Here they come, swiftly and speedily. Not one of them grows tired or stumbles. Not one slumbers or sleeps. Not a belt is loosened at the waist. Not a sandal thong is broken. Their arrows are sharp. All their bows are strung. Their horses' hooves seem like flint. Their chariot wheels like a whirlwind. Their roar is like that of the lion. They roar like young lions. They growl as they seize their prey and carry it off with no one to rescue. In that day, they will roar over it like the roaring of the sea. And if one looks at the land, there is only darkness and distress. Even the sun will be darkened by clouds. I saw the Lord seated on a throne, high and exalted, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above him were seraphs, each with 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their faces. With 2 they covered their feet. And with 2 they were flying. And they were calling to one another,
Holy, holy! Holy is the Lord Almighty! The whole earth is full of his glory.
At the sound of their voices, the doorpost and thresholds shook, and the temple was filled with smoke. Woe to me, I cried. I am ruined, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips. And my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Almighty. Then one of the seraphs flew to me with a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with tongues from the altar. With it, he touched my mouth and said,
See, this has touched your lips. Your guilt is taken away, and your sin atoned for.
Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying,
Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?
And I said, Here am I, send me. He said,
Go and tell this people, be ever hearing, but never understanding. Be ever seeing, but never perceiving. Make the heart of this people calloused. Make their ears dull, and close their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn and be healed.
Then I said, For how long, Lord? And he answered,
Until the cities lie ruined and without inhabitant, until the houses are left deserted and the fields ruined and ravaged, until the Lord has sent everyone far away and the land is utterly forsaken. And though a tenth remains in the land, it will again be laid waste. But as the terebinth and oak leaf stumps when they are cut down, so the holy seed
When
will be the
Ahaz,
stump
son
in
of
the
Jotham, the son of Uzziah, was king of Judah, King Rezin of Aram, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, marched up to fight against Jerusalem. But they could not overpower it. Now the house of David was told,
Aram has allied itself with Ephraim.
So the hearts of Ahaz and his people were shaken, as the trees of the forest are shaken by the wind. Then the Lord said to Isaiah,
Go out, you and your son Shear-Jashub, to meet Ahaz at the end of the aqueduct of the upper pool, on the road to the launderer's field. Say to him, be careful, keep calm, and don't be afraid. Do not lose heart because of these two smoldering stubs of firewood, because of the fierce anger of Rezin and Aram, and of the son of Remaliah. Aram, Ephraim, and Remaliah's son have plotted your ruin, saying,
Let us invade Judah. Let us tear it apart and divide it among ourselves, and make the son of Tabiel king over it.
Yet this is what the sovereign Lord says. It will not take place. It will not happen. For the head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is only Rezin. Within 65 years, Ephraim will be too shattered to be a people. The head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is only Remaliah's son. If you do not stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all.
Again, the Lord spoke to Ahaz.
Ask the Lord your God for a sign, whether in the deepest depths or in the highest heights.
But Ahaz said,
I will not ask. I will not put the Lord to the test.
Then Isaiah said,
Hear now, you house of David. Is it not enough to try the patience of human beings? Will you try the patience of my God also? Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel. He will be eating curds and honey when he knows enough to reject the wrong and choose the right. For before the boy knows enough to reject the wrong and choose the right, the land of the two kings you dread will be laid waste. The Lord will bring on you and on your people and on the house of your father a time unlike any since Ephraim broke away from Judah. He will bring the king of Assyria. In that day, the Lord will whistle for flies from the Nile Delta in Egypt, and for bees from the land of Assyria. They will all come and settle in the steep ravines and in the crevices in the rocks, on all the thorn bushes and at all the water holes. In that day, the Lord will use a razor hired from beyond the Euphrates River, the king of Assyria, to shave your head and the hair of your legs, and to take off your beards also. In that day, a person will keep alive a young cow and 2 goats, and because of the abundance of the milk they give, there will be curds to eat. All who remain in the land will eat curds and honey. In that day, in every place where there were 1,000 vines worth 1,000 silver shekels, there will be only briars and thorns. Hunters will go there with bow and arrow, for the land will be covered with briars and thorns. As for all the hills once cultivated by the hoe, you will no longer go there for fear of the briars and thorns. They will become places where cattle are turned loose and where sheep roam.
Inspired by the Bible Experience.
In the news this week, an atheist activist welcomes Scotland's hate crime bill as an opportunity to criminalise the Bible. A new report reveals that care homes were asked to implement blanket DNRs at the height of the coronavirus outbreak. And new phone technology could protect children from explicit content. Hello. An atheist activist has welcomed Scotland's hate crime bill as an opportunity to report the Bible and sermons for so-called hate speech. Ian Stewart, convener of Atheist Scotland, said the legislation will enable the prosecution of all Scotland's religions and their holy books for spreading hatred. We fully intend to monitor all holy books, sermons in places of worship, and the social media accounts of the various religions, and report any hatred to Police Scotland for criminal investigation. If passed, the bill would criminalise words deemed likely to stir up hatred against particular groups, and would not require any proof of intent. The Christian Institute's Simon Calvert warned that this gives politically motivated complainants a powerful weapon to shut down views they don't like.
I've got no idea how many atheists this gentleman actually represents, but the truth is it only takes one politically motivated complaint, and you might well find the police paying a visit to a church to see whether the Bible is inflammatory material or whether the sermons are stirring up hatred. Because the wording of these proposed new stirring up offences is that anything that is deemed abusive and likely to stir up hatred is caught. Now, we know that these days, cynical activists routinely accuse their ideological opponents of being abusive and hateful, not because they are, but because it's a ploy to try to shut down the debate. So that's why this legislation is really very dangerous indeed, and we have to hope, and indeed pray, that members of the Scottish Parliament will ditch it.
It comes as a poll revealed almost 9 in 10 Scots believe freedom of speech is an important right, while almost 7 in 10 agreed there must be a proven intention to stir up hatred for behaviour to be classed as a criminal offence. A new report has found that care homes were asked to implement blanket do not resuscitate orders at the height of the pandemic. The Queen's Nursing Institute found that 10% of care home staff changed DNR orders without asking family members, nursing staff, or the residents themselves. 128 nurses and care home managers were surveyed. One revealed DNRs were put in place without consent by trust staff. Another said they were advised to have them in place for all residents, but did not implement the unethical advice. The study's author, Professor Alison Leary, called the findings worrying. These decisions were being made by NHS managers, not clinicians. LGBT group Stonewall is campaigning against a report that warns of the dangers of men competing in women's rugby. They called World Rugby's findings exclusionary, but were silent on the dangers faced by female players. Men identifying as women can currently play the women's game if they can maintain low levels of testosterone. But the official report recognises that men are generally stronger, heavier and faster than women and pose a significant risk to them. Campaign group Fair Play for Women slammed Stonewall's position. Sports categories are exclusionary. That's what makes them effective as a category. The male sex is excluded from the female sex category because of the physical advantages of being male. And finally, new phone technology is being developed that could protect children from explicit content. SafeToNet's new software uses live detection to immediately block videos and images involving sexual or violent content. In tests, it detected 84% of violent content and 92% of nudity during analysis of millions of videos and images. Company founder Richard Percy said, "There's no point you being told that yesterday your 12-year-old son sent a naked picture of himself, because it's too late. The ability to detect, to analyse live video capture in the moment, and then do something if a risk is detected, for us, that's pioneering." Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.
My son, it is your time.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be.
It was a magnetic performance, radiating nobility and glorious charisma as King T'Challa in the groundbreaking Black Panther.
Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
the first major superhero film with a predominantly black cast. And in the process, Chadwick Boseman inspired a generation to see the hero in themselves, believing they too could be young, gifted and black. On the film's release, he discussed the movie's cultural impact on two young fans who eventually died of cancer.
Just to experience those two little boys' anticipation of this movie. And when I found out that they...
At the time, he was himself privately living with the illness.
To make the decision that regardless, you are going to continue to perform, you're going to continue to take on new projects and just push as far as you can go on your journey and make your mark on the world, I think is a fantastic tribute to him.
He'd made his debut just 12 years ago, playing real-life figures, whether it was legendary R&B singer James Brown,
It's just a bunch of crackpots still fighting the Civil War.
or the black baseball star Jackie Robinson. News of his death came as a shock to many, as Boseman never discussed his cancer diagnosis publicly. His final tweet celebrated Kamala Harris as Joe Biden's Democratic running mate in the forthcoming presidential election. Today she wrote, "Heartbroken. Chadwick Boseman was brilliant, kind, learned and humble. He left too early, but his life made a difference." Actor Idris Elba told ITV News, Boseman was thoughtful and hardworking, and he'll be missed by the filmmaking community. In the 1990s, Boseman came to Oxford, spending a summer doing an acting course. His tutor then remembers a tenacious student.
He was tremendous. He was very, very diligent. Altogether a joy to have in the room. Very hard-working, very enthusiastic, tremendous energy.
His family said he died at home with his family by his side. But it is as King T'Challa that he'll be remembered, becoming a symbol of racial progress.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
The actor Chadwick Boseman, who's died aged 43.
Ruach City Church online activities. Sundays, partnership class, online at 3 p.m. Register via the website. Mondays, women's fitness at 6 p.m. Body Alive with fitness coach Antoinette Harrison. Fun and upbeat sessions suitable for all levels of fitness. Register via the Ruach website. Tuesdays, restoration class at 7 p.m. for women only. Provides teaching and advice to renew and reconnect your relationship with Jesus Christ. You can register via the Ruach website. Wednesdays, Access Life Application Bible Study at 8 p.m. Congregational prayer with Ruach elders at 8 p.m. Thursdays, Discipleship Care at 7 p.m. Kingdom Conversations at 9 p.m. hosted by Bishop John Francis. Fridays, Ruach Bereavement Support Group at 6 p.m. hosted by the Ruach Wellbeing team. You can register via the Ruach website or email wellbeing@ruachcitychurch.org. Men's Real Talk at 7:30 p.m. Ruach City Church contact details. Website www.ruachcitychurch.org. Telephone number 0208 678 6888. Email admin@ruachcitychurch.org.
If you are struggling and you would like to receive a food parcel, we're here to help.
Receiving a Koinonia food parcel is simple. Call the Ruach office on 0208 678 6888 or visit our website at www.ruachcitychurch.org or email us at admin@ruachcitychurch.org. The Bible says that if one part of the body suffers, the whole body suffers. We are one body, so if you need groceries, please let us know.
Hi, it's Jessica of Poetically Speaking, thought-provoking poetry to inspire on DJ Val's Gospel Soul Food Show. I would like to introduce you to Poetess Jess. Now, to me, all poets are unique and wonderful. Why? Because God has chosen them as his oracles, as his creative oracles. But I have to say that this young lady is special. She's an end-time poet, a young person with a passion, and her poetry pulls you in with words that leave you inside out. Her two poems are entitled Before You Quit, For the Person in Lament, and are for those who are not now really deep in their faith. They're feeling challenged in their faith. I just want you to listen to these poems and be encouraged, because God said in his word that he will never leave you or forsake you. Thanks for listening. Keep sending me your poems. Contact me on www.christianpoets.co.uk. This is Jessica. I give you Poetess Jess. Be inspired.
Did you know that you were graced for purpose? And everything that you went through in your life, you went through on purpose, only for you to give birth to your purpose. You see, you were designed for destiny. You were born to be mighty. You are a landmark of greatness. Your character is courageous. Your energy is contagious. Your mindset is blameless. You are giving and gracious. You are not selfish, but you are selfless. And it's not that you do not think about yourself. You just think of yourself less. So get rid of all that heavy weight so that you can become weightless. Because today you'll understand that excess isn't needed for access. And please, close that final chapter in your life. You are not a book. You cannot be read, but you are the kindle. You are the light to the flame. Just allow the Lord to light you like matches. The world can't match this, because you are matchless. And please, stop going back to see if they finally understand you. If they didn't get you back then and you've grown, why would they understand you now and you've come into your own? Dust off your crown. Go sit on your throne, because you are the star that everybody's wishing on. It's your time, it's your hour, and your set time has come. And please, before you quit, remember why you started. Remember why you lit your flame, and remember why you sparked it. Remember why your peak is still worth climbing, and why you can't stop, and why you've got to keep on striving. Remember, everything happens in God's timing. It's all about aligning and appointed timing. See, so easy for you to walk away because you feel like you're being left behind in your own lane. Yeah, you keep swerving from lane to lane, and now you find yourself in the watchman's lane. You sit on watchman's lane. You can't pass a memory lane. What a shame. You slipped, you tripped, and you can't even pass it. You can't call it the past because you haven't passed it, and now you mask it. Well, I'm so happy that life came and gave me a slap in the face, only for me to touch base with myself because I was sleeping on myself. But listen, don't ever let your setback set you back, and if you take a blow, you better blow back. Let your setbacks know that they're never gonna blow back. Know that your mind is like soil, and whatever seed you plant will unfold. I've been told that the very trees, they lose their leaves just to blossom in the summer. So that means you are on the come up. Just realign. Growing from the ground up, you are a vine. Stop focusing on life the wrong way. Focus on your finish line. See, your race is not their race. So stop comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle. Lanes are parallel, and guess what? We're all just in the middle. Don't ever think that your failure is defeat. Don't ever think that your progress is little. Do not choose to be defeated because you are not an inconvenience. What you are is a convenience, undefeated. And if I can get you to believe this, then lesson 1 is completed. In fact, repeat this. Tap your hands on your chest and say, this being is becoming. This being is upcoming. This being is forthcoming. This being is coming back for everything that they ever stole from me. My confidence, my self-esteem, my dignity. Now is the time that we no longer stop, but we just take pauses. We don't look back, but we keep moving forward. So before you quit, remember why you started. Remember why you lit your flame, and remember why you sparked it. Remember why your peak is still worth climbing, and why you can't stop. And why you've got to keep on striving. I'm Poetess Jess. Bless. Medea. This is for the person that's going through, where you have been saved for a long time, but you have found yourself at that place where you're just starting to question your faith. It's like conversations that you have with God hold dead weight. Sometimes it's awkward silence because you just have nothing to say. And now you have minimized the Christ in your life because you're struggling to believe in the concept of speaking to somebody who you can't see with your own eyes. Yet you cry yourself to sleep, asking the Lord, why me? Nobody can see how your thoughts are deadly. Nobody can see the burden weighing on your arteries that's making your heart feel so heavy. If you had a wishing well, you would just wish yourself well because you already drowning in despair. Trying to keep your head above the waters, but you are choking on the air. And now you're in church and you find it a struggle to praise. Because deep down in your heart, you could just cuss God to his face like, I hate you. I hate the way you made me feel. I hate the way you made me love you. I hate the way you made me believe that you were real, but you were just fake. I swear your word says in Psalms 23, for his name's sake, I am walking in the valley of the shadow of death. And right now that psalm is up for debate. I hate you. You know what? Forget this righteous walk. Forget this Christian walk. Let me just return back to sin because that's what I was conceived in by default. I can't survive this, and that is your fault. I hate you. So now you don't believe in faith because you lost hope. And I bet you right now, if you was to throw your faith out in the surface of the water, it wouldn't even float. It would just sink. And you wouldn't think twice about diving in because you probably thought that the odds were stacked against you from the outset. But let me tell you, you just plugged your temporary situation into a permanent outlet. You have not even tried to figure it out yet because you're still trying to pay your way with a solitude debt, looking for something that you have not found yet. Yet in your weakness, God's strength is made perfect. Take this aspect to reflect and allow the Lord to direct you. See, you had to go through the fire to be refined. Remove the scales from your eyes, you are not blind. If you look closely, you will see another pair of footprints on the ground. You were never lost. You were always found. So from this point, Let every point count. Count it all joy that the enemy didn't destroy you because God was fighting for you. You need to remember that the valley of the shadow of death is just a shadow that goes when the sun is positioned right in your life. You just positioned him a little too low. You've got to push through, grow through what you go through. Your now determines your next move. Don't allow your wounds to determine your next move for you. Please understand that God speaks most powerfully in the places that we hurt most painfully. So rest your head in pastures green so that you can rest in peace. And allow the Lord to prepare that table before you in the presence of your enemies. Let them see that the trials that they laughed at were triumphs of victory. Yes, you let your setback set you back, but I bet you they didn't know that you was gonna blow back. Your mind has been refined and you have been transformed. Your cup is overflowing and you will never ever lack. And surely goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life, so that you will be able to dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Now that's more like it. That one's a little bit slow when it comes back off the poetry. So thanks very much indeed, Poetess Jess. Really enjoyed those lovely poems, man. And of course, if you're poetically inclined and you've got this poetic thing going on and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I could do what Poetess Jess did. I could do a little video of myself. I could send it in, or I could do an audio of myself. I could send it in. Why don't you send it in to Elder Jessica, right? info@christianpoets.co.uk. Email her over your audio clip or even your video clip, and we'll do our best to get it aired on the show. Amen. All right, time is ticking, but I do want to quickly say hi, going out there to my radio partners all around the world. First of all, I'm going to do it in reverse order. So I want to say really thanks to Throne Connection Radio. That's it. Throne Connection Radio. That is Carissa B. Throne Connection Radio. They aired the very first Soul Food show on Saturday. I missed it myself, but I heard it went really well. So thank you so much indeed to the team out there at Throne Connection Radio. And if you are listening in America, please tune in to Throne Connection Radio. It's one of your local stations. I believe it is Massachusetts. I keep saying I should look and find out, but I haven't done so. So shouts going out there to Angel and Melodies Network. They are definitely based in Detroit, Michigan. I know that much to be true. Shouts going out there to Angel and Melody. Shouts going out there to Angel on the deck. She is the principal. She's the lady behind that. Thank you so much indeed for hosting the Soul Food Show. Moving on, Jam Vibes TV Network, Phoenix Entertainment Group. We know the main guy behind that is our very own Pastor Linton Smith, Pastor Louise Smith. So shouts going out there to both of them for helping support the Soul Food Show. Back across the pond to the UK, we say we go up north first of all. Let's do Cornerstone Christian Radio. That's Matthew Branson. I call him Maddie B. That's his radio name. All the team there at Cornerstone Christian Radio, they host the Soul Food Show at least 3 times a week. So thank you so much immensely to Maddie B for his support as well. They syndicate all around the world, especially in Indonesia as well. So shouts going out there to Maddie B and Cornerstone Christian Radio out there in Indonesia. Getting a little bit closer to home. Almost there now. So shouts going out to Salt FM. That's right, Salt FM. That is the home of Rhythm Divine. Be inspired with Shuggy Tosh, Praise Party. Yep, you know the guys really well. DJ Jai, Shuggy Tosh, Miss Louisa, the whole lot of them, man. Those guys are there. They host the Soul Food Show every Thursday, and thank you so much indeed for taking the time out just to remember your boy and making sure I get a slot on there. And last but not least, since we've done it in reverse order for the radio partners, the mighty Rock Radio, Christian-centered conversation and music 24/7. Shouts going out there, of course, to my Bishop John Anthony Francis, the best best bishop in the whole wide world. And co-pastor Penny Francis, the best co-pastor in the whole wide world. Shouts going out there to them. Ivor Etienne, the station manager, all of my brothers and sisters, fellow presenters on Ruach Radio. Love you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much indeed for your dedication and everything that you do. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you real good. I think that all does it. I'm not going to do the books today. You guys know I always big up the books, but I just want to move on because we want to get on with some music-y. And I need to do... Let's do this.
Your #1 hit station in town. For the love of music.
Bringing you another hour of the hottest tracks from around the globe.
The DJ who makes you feel good. The hottest tunes, the hottest DJ.
Your #1 DJ worldwide.
You're listening to your favorite DJ.
Where it always feels good.
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ Val.
Just the other day, two young men were talking and I couldn't walk away, 'cause one of the young men said that he made a change. He just gave his life to Christ, but he cared what people said. Many people feel like you, you're not the only one on this Christian journey. Everything ain't over. So before you care about who's listening, let me tell you this. Everybody's always talking about.
So hold tight, Gemma. Looks like Gemma's trying to send a poem in. So where you need to send the poems in, you can do it two ways. You can either send it to info@christianpoets.co.uk. Alternatively, you can send it to me and I'll send it on to Elder Jessica, soulfoodoffice@gmail.com. soulfoodoffice@gmail.com.
Recall a time when I was scared to wave my hands, when I was in church while I was with some friends, but they weren't the ones I called when I got in.
And hold tight, Avril, I got your poem for Left the Moon Alone, I think it was. You should have voiced it, actually. I know you sent it over, but you should have voiced it for us so that when we had it on audio, you know.
Only one Christian journey. Everything is all fun. Everything on TV ain't really what it is. So before you care about who's listening, let me tell you this. Everybody's always talking about what their business is. Your business ain't nothing without a little Jesus. 'Cause he reigns forever. Lord, you reign forever. Lord, you reign forever. You reign forever. Lord, you reign forever. From nation to nation, Lord, you reign forever.
So I do remember, if you are on any of the streams, whether you're Periscope, Twitch, YouTube or Facebook, please share. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your enemies. I want to get as many people on here as possible, man. Got to give shouts going out to our very own Sarah Tabo. It has been confirmed she is going to be with your boy. That's right, on the 8th of September, she is going to be joining us on the original Soul Food Show. And of course, you know we are playing Come Spirits as the record of the week. Can't wait to speak to her. You know, she's an exceptionally gifted Funny enough, I've got a Soul Food Daily Double that I'm going to do probably at some point. I don't know, maybe around 5 o'clock. I do the Soul Food Daily Double. And that's normally where I take one artist, I play 2 different tracks back to back. It's a DVD now. So it's a daily video double. Y'all got the upgrade, man. Those people on the old show can remember it just used to be it was just audio, but now we've upgraded. You got 2 videos, absolutely 2 fantastic videos from her coming up a little bit later on. But in the meantime, in between time, let's do this one by my girl Nioki.
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ Val.
DJ Val, playing music for your mind, body, and soul.
There comes a time in our life when we need someone to talk to.
Love this one.
Need someone to count on. Someone who's always there. And I know a friend, and he is closer than a mother. He's closer than a brother. My savior, what he is. I know that he is his. Deep down in my soul. I know that he is. And will always be right there. Why you worry, why you fretting? 'Cause he said, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will show direct your path. Speak and you shall have it. Knock and the doors will open to you. Wait on the Lord and he shall renew your strength. I know. Deep down in my soul.
Sing it if you know the words, man. I know the words.
And will always be right there.
Listen, shouts going out to my brother DJ Dom on this.
And you finally
put together a little mix of this and a couple of other tracks that I love to play, and I thought, oh, that was really nice, you know. And considering DJ Dom out there in Brazil, he does a soulful gospel house. I thought, nice one, bruh. As we remember our brother, Mr. Chadwick Boseman, who played the Black Panther in the Marvel Universe. Our thoughts and our commiserations and condolences go out to the whole of his family. Everybody connected with him, man. A great light has gone out.
I know. In my soul, I know that he cares, and he'll always be right there. He's here. I know that in my soul, deep down in my soul, I know that he cares, and his love will never end. I know.
Super smooth sounding Nioki on the Smooth Worship Show, but we're not done there. Hold tight, DJ Giant. I think you love this one. Mr. Anthony King, I Talk to God. Beautiful track, man.
When I wake up every day, the first thing I do is get down on my knees and pray. Thank you, Lord, for another day. Waking me up and moving me on my way. I talk to God in the morning time. Talk to God, yeah. Lets me know the sun gon' shine. Lets me know the sun gon' shine. Talk to God in the morning time. Talk to God and He leads me on my way. Leads me on my way. Get with my day. I can't wait till morning comes, 'cause I want to know exactly where you're coming
can I say, Avril? Snap, I love this one too.
Let you know the sun gon' shine. Talk to God in the morning time. Talk to God and He leads me on my way. And I can't.
Better say hi going out there to the lady behind the smooth worship music. Smooth worship movement, actually. Got a comment. She's got a great album out with her husband, actually, called Live to Live Again. That is indeed Barbara with a H. Kelly, formerly of Camden, New Jersey, now residing in the City of Angels. And I'll say happy birthday going out there to Brian J. Kelly. I saw it was your birthday. All I can say is Barbara with a H. Kelly spoils you rotten, man. You must be really a great man. She's always cooking, always doing something. Let's do this one for my US friends, actually.
1, 2.
This one's called Molasses, but over here we'd call it Treacle.
Let me hear you say, yep. Everybody screaming, come save me. And I can't even help it. Looking to me for answer.
Hey, Gemma, where are you tuning in from, actually? Gemma Debbie Celestine Lincoln. That's a very full-bodied name, isn't it?
It's the Soul Food Show with DJ Val.